Member for Karama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Housing, Local Government and Community Services. Minister, I know the management of public housing tenancies across the Northern Territory is a challenging and complex issue. As the representative for the good people of Karama and MLA, I can say it is the single biggest issue for many of my constituents. You have previously spoken around the fact that under Labor, we've seen an erosion in accountability and responsibility enabled by a government not interested in protecting the broader interests of tax-paying Territorians. Minister, can you update the House on the work you have done with your department to identify and address systemic failings of the Labor government in holding non-compliant tenants to account? Thank you.
Minister for Housing.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Karama for that important question. I know how hard the member for Karama and all of the MLAs here have been working right throughout their electorates to address antisocial behaviour, poor behaviour, drinking in public places. It's been an ongoing issue in public housing. The levels of violence, criminal behaviour people have been forced to endure over an 8-year period under Labor is nothing short of horrendous. The sad truth is that under Labor, who turned a blind eye to accountability and personal responsibility for tenants in public housing. I've spoken previously in this House about the need to shift the pendulum back to a sensible balance between the rights of the individual against responsibility. When I speak about responsibility, I'm referring to the responsibility that comes with a public housing tenancy to act and abide in a manner that meets community standards and expectations. I'm sure, and I'm not alone in my thinking, that one of the expectations of the broader community would also include paying rent for a house that's been provided by the government. You can imagine, Member for Karama, how appalled I am, and I'm sure that the majority of Territorians would like to hear about the recent history and current state of rental arrears across the Northern Territory in the public housing portfolio. So if we go back to 7th of December 2021, the Labor government at the time considered the submission under the Remote Public Housing Rental Framework and approved a policy to waive the entire remote rent debt balance of $69.71 million. That was back in December 2021. The waiver was based on the fact that it was considered irrecoverable by Labor. In just the 2.5 years since that write-off, the department is now carrying an accumulated rental arrears debt of over $39 million. Over $39 million. Again, this is after the $69 million was written off by Labor in 2021. There are now 1,422 tenancies with debt above the $10,000 mark. That's right, 1,422 tenancies have a debt of over $10,000. The highest is $40,000, followed by a couple at $36,000, another at $33,000 and another at $39,000. Madam Speaker, I had to stop asking after that. The rental debt presented to me was overwhelming. So whilst it is clear the Labor Party approach with this issue was to shrug their shoulders and hide responsibility from taxpaying Territorians, this is not the CLP way, and we're taking steps to fix it.
Member